Good night, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gerardo Soto, and this is the International Show. Tonight, we are talking about cultural adaptations in Mexico. For that, we invite two experts on this matter. So please welcome Andrea Sandoval and Ethel Mendoza.
Thank you.
So Ethel, you're an expert on Swedish culture and have lived there for a long time. What can you tell us about the life in there?
Good evening, everyone. First of all, the Swedish culture is very different from Mexican. The food is very basic, the traditional music is Nordic, but the biggest difference is punctuality. When people agree to see at a certain time, they meet exactly at the time established.
Could you give us an example?
Yes, of course. When you're on a bus stop, if the schedule says the bus arrives at 5:17, so it does.
Andrea, you're an expert on the Mexican culture. Could you tell us the difference between both countries in the aspect that Ethel mentioned?
Well, here in Mexico, the food has more diversity in contrast of the basic food Ethel has mentioned. Also, the punctuality is not that important as is in Sweden.
Can you give us an example?
Yes, when you make an appointment with a Mexican, you can't expect them to get at the hour established sharp. They generally will arrive at least 5 minutes late.
This is completely true. I personally experienced this and did it myself. The good thing about Mexicans is that if you don't respect the punctuality, people don't make a huge problem about it. What's the reaction people have in Sweden when punctuality is not respected, Ethel?
Well, they feel lack of respect towards them. They receive you, but with a bit of disgust. And some of them may not invite you again to an event if you break the rule of punctuality.
The contrast in this aspect is evident. While Swedish stereotype is of a respectful, formal person, Mexicans are thought to be as irrespectful towards others and very informal between one another. Are there more of these types of stereotypes, Andrea?
Yes, I can find a lot of stereotypes that people have about Mexicans. One of them is that we are lazy, and another one is that everything here is violent. Many people from other countries don't come to Mexico because of this stereotype. I mean, it's true that we have some violence, but foreigners have the idea of so much worse, and it depends a lot of the city you're going.
I think that although some of these stereotypes are exaggerated, I personally experience and even make some of them. But can statistics prove they are correct?
Well, not of them. I don't agree with the lazy stereotype. In fact, there are cities like with the OCDE that say that Mexicans work around 500 hours a year.
500? Wow, I didn't know that. It just surprised me this because I really thought Mexicans were lazy. But is there a stereotype that's true about Mexicans?
Yes, there is at least one. Solidarity. Mexico is one of the countries that help toward natural disasters to other countries. Another is hospitality. One of the phrases that can example this is "Mi casa es tu casa." If you live in Mexico, is one of the phrases people will hear.
Talking about this, Ethel, how did you feel with the Mexican treatment towards you? Were they hospitalitarian? Were they indifferent? How was it?
Well, the Mexican treatment is really good. They receive you well, the people, and they are hospitalitarian, but it's like nothing compared to a Swedish welcome. It is also warm, a warm welcome because they receive per year a lot of immigrants, but as I said before, nothing compared to the Mexican welcome.
We can deduce that both cultures can overlap each other because of their great differences. These contrasts are even more notable when one crashes with the other. Ethel, do you think it will be difficult to adapt into Mexican culture if you're a Swedish?
Well, I think it would be a difficult transaction, as we have discussed this earlier. These cultures are really different. I think people can adapt to another culture, but it takes time and patience.
These concepts of punctuality and stereotypes are some cultural misunderstandings in society. Andrea, cultural misunderstandings between different societies are a main problem when people interact with others. Is there a way to avoid or to reduce them?
Yes, the way people can avoid these misunderstandings is having more patience and studying the way people of a new culture act. Because you're the one who is expected to learn the new ways to act, and not the way around.
That's right, Andrea. unfortunately, we have to end this discussion here. Andrea, Ethel, thanks for coming, and thank you for watching one more episode of the International Show.